How are you? How's everything going? You guys hanging in there?
Yeah. Just, surviving. Going a little stir crazy, but we're fine otherwise. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm delivering for Instacart. So,
Oh yeah, I saw that. But you didn't do it. There was some reason you didn't do it today. Oh,
oh,
because it's like really.
yeah. So the weather changed super drastically today.
Yeah.
We went from 65 to 30.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Midwest. Oh,
it's really like cold and rainy here, and it's like LA cold, which is like in the 50s. But that's cold for us because we don't have any insulation, so all the buildings are freezing.
yeah. So that it's been the worst. Okay, I think
Uh,
these are up and running.
okay.
So let's get started.
Yay.
All right, so welcome to another edition of Catching Up with me, Dwayne Duke, where I go back and explore pop culture over the last decade that I spent on the road as a comic. Tonight we're talking about 2018's A Star Is Born, starring Lady Gaga, directed by Bradley Cooper, and HBO's short-lived series, but still very good, The Leftovers. My
Yeah.
guest is, of course, Todd Masterson. How you doing, Todd?
Good. How are you?
I'm living the dream.
Great.
So first, I have a bunch of questions. I took notes. Let's get started.
Oh no.
Hey. Oh no! What? All right. So welcome to. Hold on. The live stream is in the background and it just started behind me. There we go. All right, it's up, but it's muted.
Oh,
All right. Lesson learned. Mute that.
yeah. Now wait.
Uh,
So you don't see any movies or TV shows like ever?
I am the worst at saying new things. So like if I'm in town somewhere and I have to kill a few hours, I'll pick something that I think I can just, sit in air conditioning and eat some popcorn and just
Yeah.
zone out for. Like
Okay.
I saw Boss Baby, was that this year?
You saw Boss Baby?
I saw Boss Baby because I wanted popcorn one day.
Why
I
did you
thought
pick Boss Baby?
it was starting next.
Great. Okay.
I saw Onward this
Okay.
year.
I haven't
That
seen
was
that
really
yet.
good.
They just added it to Disney Plus, so we're gonna watch it probably this weekend.
Oh, it's really good.
Okay.
I saw, what's that one where Daniel Craig has the accent? Oh, Knives Out.
Knives Out.
Yeah, I saw Knives Out this year.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I saw another movie. Yeah, it takes a lot for me to see movies. So like I saw Knives Out. Oh, and I saw Shaft last year. I think those are the last four movies I've seen.
Oh, I never got to see that. But I really like Samuel L. Jackson, so.
Yeah, it's on HBO right now. So
Oh,
whenever you get a
good.
moment. But I did watch A Star Is Born. There are 17 songs in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a musical.
I know. Not full disclaimer. I'm not a big fan of musicals.
Okay.
And I tried. I did my best. I only fast forwarded through the musicals in the second half of the movie because I was like, okay, they're just gonna keep singing at each other. All right. So question one: why A Star Is Born? What's your connection with the movie?
Well, I mean, it's Lady Gaga who's like my number one, so I would have seen it no matter what.
Okay.
But also like it's it's like Judy Garland did it, and then Barbara Streisand did it, and so now Gaga did it, and it's all these like great, powerful women doing the same character, and it's different every time. Um, but it's just like in Judy Garland's. Have you seen any of the other ones?
No.
Okay, so in Judy Garland's, he kills himself,
Oh.
but Barbara Streisand didn't like that, so she changed it to a car accident. But he was driving drunk. But then Gaga and Bradley Cooper changed it back to suicide. But yeah, I just it's also I see every like awards movie. I see every like zeitgeisty movie that people are talking about. But I also just love Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and I was just excited for it as a movie. And I really liked the music. I love musicals. Like my degree is in musical theater performance, so
Okay.
I love musicals.
So if you could recast it, like with different lead, different leads, who would you go with?
Well, it was originally supposed to be Beyonce.
I
And
saw that.
so,
I read the Wikipedia that that Clint Eastwood was going to direct, and it was Beyonce.
yeah. And so I definitely want to see that version. And I think, there's still time, although Beyonce and I are the same age and we're almost 40. So
Yeah.
I think
Um, Lady Gaga's character is supposed to be like 23, right? Like,
she's pretty young. I think she's like fresh out of college.
okay,
So
that
she's early 20s. And
a lot of times I was like, am I going crazy? Like, this character is way too young for like the way she's acting seems way too young for Gaga. But
yeah, I mean, Gaga, I think is like a little over 30, isn't she?
oh, I don't know. I've got the wiki up because I had a million questions about this.
Yeah. But yeah, Gaga is like pushing too old to be that character, but she's such a tiny woman, and her voice her voice is so powerful. It doesn't matter what body that voice is in. So like the fact that like, she's in this like little tiny body with this big voice, like that kind of voice in any kind of body would be, you know, amazing. So it's not really age related. It's not like, when Mandy Moore sang Candy and now how Mandy Moore sings like jazz or whatever, folk music. Like,
Um, okay, so they filmed in 2017, which was what, 3 years ago. So she was 31 when they filmed this. So not too far off.
not too far off. I mean, whenever they do like high school shows, kids are always like 23 and they're playing 16. So it's about the same age range.
Yeah, I'm listening to a podcast right now about 90210.
The original 90210?
Yeah, they're going through 90210 and Melrose Place at the exact same time.
Did you watch those? I never watched them.
No, it's like everything. I have a general idea about them, but I did not watch them.
I was too young. Like I was just on the cusp of too young for them. But also we didn't get Fox where I lived. So anything that was on Fox, we couldn't watch. Because I grew
Oh,
up on a
God.
farm out in the middle of nowhere.
So when did you get into the Simpsons?
I didn't get into, I mean, I loved Simpsons like in college and stuff when you could watch reruns or watch like DVDs, but I didn't get into Simpsons until my husband because it's his favorite show of all time. So we watched like 2 episodes every single day.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
And now it's on Disney Plus, so you can see the entire series.
That's where we started from the very first episode. Now we've done a complete watch through before when I think it was FXX did every Simpsons ever.
Yeah.
And we watched that like it was always on a TV. We added an extra TV in our house and just had it on at all times. So when FXX was doing every Simpsons ever, we were watching it constantly. But then now when it came out on Disney Plus, we decided to start it over. So I think we're on like season 11 now, 11 or
Wow.
12. Yeah.
Oh God, I've only watched the series all the way through like 3 times. But I've seen every single episode, all 670 episodes now, 72.
Yes,
Uh,
it's yeah, because like the last
Halloween,
Halloween, yeah, was 666, which was funny.
and we're not too many episodes past that. All
Mhm.
right, so you want to give us a quick synopsis of A Star Is Born, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, so Lady Gaga plays a character named Allie, who is like a cater waiter and then sings at a drag bar. She's a straight girl. She's a cater waiter during the day and like on the weekends, and then at night she sings in a drag bar with drag queens. And I think she's the only like bio queen. Is she even a queen or is she just a singer? Like I don't
Well,
even know.
it seemed like she was a waitress, and then they were just like, "We just love your voice. We want you to be the star of the show that we've clearly put together for ourselves."
Yeah. So she's performing in this drag bar, singing live one night. Meanwhile, Bradley Cooper's character is like, I guess, kind of like Eddie Vedder, kind of like, um, I don't know, like Paul McCartney famous level. Like he's like a super famous musician and singer, but he's also a raging alcoholic. So he has his driver stop at the nearest bar so he can get a drink, and it happens to be this drag bar. And he goes in while Lady Gaga is performing, and sees what a great singer she is, and decides to, I guess, give her his number, and like they hang out all night after the show, and yeah, and then it just like goes from there. So then he decides he wants to make her a star, and they start singing together. And they shot all this stuff at like Coachella, and they shot it at, I want to say, the Hollywood Bowl. They did a couple, like they would drop into an actual concert,
Mm.
come out, sing a song, film it, and then leave real fast. So it's all live concert footage. And Gaga is singing all of the songs live, except for the pop songs at the end. But all the like actual audio in the movie is her singing live, which I think is really awesome. And Bradley Cooper, they're both singing live, which I think is another reason why I respect this movie so much, is because they put a lot of time and effort and thought into it. But so Allie gets like a viral video. Someone records it. I think someone records her first time singing with Bradley Cooper at a concert,
Mm.
and it goes viral on YouTube. And that's what makes her famous. Is she's almost like the lady in the subway that went viral singing the song from the movie. Allie in the movie goes viral on YouTube for singing with him. What's his name? I can't remember.
Oh, I have it written down. No, it's not Sam. Is it Jack? It's Jack.
Jack, yeah. And so then she starts like touring with him and performing with him, and then she becomes more famous than him and records like a pop album that's like totally, his sound is very rock and roll, and what she's been singing with him has been very rock and roll and like soul. I think Willie Nelson's son wrote a lot of the music for it because he's in a band. And then yeah, and so then she becomes more famous than him, and then she wins like best new artist at the Grammys or something, and he's wasted, and he comes up on stage and is just drunk and ruining her acceptance speech for best new artist, and then he wets his pants. And are they married at this point? I don't know if they're married, but they eventually get married, and then yeah, they just have this like tumultuous relationship, and he goes to rehab and gets cleaned up. Meanwhile, her star just keeps going up. She gets more and more famous, and then yeah, she's like doing like an international tour or something, and something's coming up. Her manager hated him the whole time. Like her manager wanted her to leave him because their relationship was so toxic. And her manager said something to him one night before like an award show or a big concert or something, and so he decides to kill himself instead of like hurting her career. And yeah, and then that's it. And then Gaga goes on to be a famous pop star in that universe with her husband died. Jackson, that's what his name, Jackson.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the movie.
If it was that, I turned it on and saw it was 2 hours and 17 minutes, and I was like, what have I agreed to?
Yeah.
My first note is, wait, I have to listen to both of them sing. The ad with the rainbow nooses, is that what Lady Gaga looks like? I was like, Shangela. I was so excited when I saw Shangela and Willem and the rest of them. And then the thing with the eyebrow and the Rachel haircut.
Yeah.
Are we keeping this rate? I was like, did the hair person think she looked younger with the Rachel cut?
I don't know, because I feel like it made her look older.
Right? I was like, it seems like she's way more naive than young because of the way she looks in the movie. Like, they could have done whatever they did to her in American Horror Story and aged her down a little.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is like her hair plays a big role in this movie, because when she becomes a pop star and she becomes famous, like they dye it like super bright red, and she becomes this like redheaded pop star as opposed to just like the chill girl that Bradley Cooper discovered working in a bar.
Yeah. My notes. Sam Elliott. This is a pretty loaded cast because I sat down and watched this on Saturday afternoon, Saturday, Monday. Days have no meaning. I sat down and
Yeah,
watched this,
yeah.
and I was furiously taking notes and watching, and I was like, 17 songs, 17 goddamn songs. Did Bradley Cooper meet Sam Elliott and go, fuck it, that's my voice now?
Yeah, like he said something in an interview where he was just like, "I'm just going to do Sam Elliott's voice," and then it became um, a storyline in the movie where because Sam Elliott plays his brother, his
Yeah.
like way older brother.
You talk about how they set things up. The story moved so fast in this movie. Like the songs take forever, but the story is moving at breakneck speed.
It
Like
moved so fast.
so, it's just like uh, it was like, oh, I want to take you to Arizona. I'm going to take you to where I'm going to take you to my father's farm. I bought it for my brother. Oh, but actually, this is my brother. Oh, you sold it. You said you sold dad's farm. I was like, that is almost in the same frame.
Yeah.
Did I just watch Lady Gaga take a horse bath? How long before we learn that Sam Elliott is his brother? Oh, 2 minutes. 51 minutes in, and I missed all the side. Are these all full-length songs? 1 hour in the Arizona sky. Yeah. Oh, and then I took a break at the 1 hour mark, and I think that's where my notes stop. Uh, because I was like, all right, I need a moment. So, what's your favorite moment in the movie?
um, I don't know. I really love the moment where the very first moment where he pulls her out on stage
Yeah,
and makes her sing. I thought that was really genuine. Like it felt like real, because like, have you ever done a show where someone like seconds before just offers you a spot? Like, you want to go next? And you
yeah.
weren't on the show, you know? Like,
Walk in and find out you're going up.
yeah, not even walk in. Like one time, and this happened a lot, but like one time I was at the Improv just supporting a show, and Erin Foley walks up to me and she was like, "Hey, the next comic isn't coming. They just texted me. Do you want their spot?" And I was like, okay, just like I need like a little bit of uh,
Time to get in the
forewarning.
headspace.
Yeah, exactly. So it was definitely like I said yes because I thought it'd be a good learning experience, and I had a great set. It was fun. I just wasn't prepared.
Yeah. One of those
Uh,
things where you're like, I'm gonna do whatever comes to my mind, and sorry.
it could have been better, but it was like a sold out show at the Improv, and it was full. And luckily, I'd had a drink because I have to have at least one drink before I perform.
Oh yeah.
And luckily, I had a drink, and it was fun. So yeah, that energy. It's just like there's no other energy like it where it's like you instantly have to perform. Because I still get, I don't know about you, but I get stage fright before every show for at least a second. Like I just always get like a wave of nervousness. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out here.
Oh,
And
it's right up to that first laugh. It's like, what if they don't like me? What if this is the time that they decide that I'm a fraud?
yeah. And like I'm always nervous every show I do. I always get nervous. And I'll start thinking about it like noon. And I won't have like a panic attack or anything, but I'll be like, oh, I have a show tonight. Okay, well, I need to like get my stuff together. I need to get ready, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so being asked to perform 5 minutes before you walk on stage, you didn't waste a whole day like thinking about your show. So it's a totally different experience.
I was like, did he write an entire song, teach it to a band, rehearse it, and then she just walks on stage and she knows it?
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like, are they improvising a song in front of thousands of people at a concert? Like, I don't think that would actually happen.
Yeah, I feel like Cheetah got out there, got a couple notes in, was like, oh, I'm pitchy and I can't hear anything and I don't know what's happening. What's the next line? I'm
Yeah,
gonna freeze. I love the father character. I think he's my favorite part of the movie.
Andrew Dice Clay.
That Clay?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Not knowing it was him, I think I love him a little bit more. He's such a good actor that he's like Tim Allen. Like I don't know if I care for him as a person, but as an actor, when you don't know it's him, you like him.
Yeah, I don't know what he's like as a person. Like, I don't know. I don't think I know anyone that knows him, or at least no one talks about him. So I only really know his stand-up character.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is as a person, but I mean, he's got to be fairly nice because he does book acting roles here and there, and this was a pretty big acting role with like serious people to book. So I don't think he's like a douche, you know.
Yeah, it was a stacked class. It was a pretty stacked cast, and then I was like, is that the guy from the Impractical Jokers?
Who?
The driver I think was Sal Volcano.
Oh, I don't know. I've never watched that show, but that's funny. It could be him.
Yeah, and I was just like, there's so many. There's like, oh, here's a big star, here's a big star, and Sam Elliott's just gonna be waltzing through this. Oh, by the way, here's Sal Volcano. Here's Andrew Dice Clay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can get to it if you're still going, but did you like this movie?
I I did not hate it. Like I don't know that I would rewatch it.
Yeah.
I um I wish they spent more time on the story than singing. Like I would like get invested in the story and then a song would happen. Or
Yeah.
they would make something happen and you're like, "Oh, no. You took too much time on that song. You didn't do enough of this story." And this was what Cooper's directorial debut.
I think so.
Yeah. So it could be some of that he let too many people influence what he was doing, or he was just like, I've got this amazing singer, I have to focus on the singing more. But like less is more in this case. It seemed like I was watching a Lady Gaga concert with a movie that was interrupting
Well, that's the thing too, is like it's not a traditional musical where like the music furthers the storyline.
it. Yeah.
You know, it's just rock music and pop music mixed in. So it does kind of it lengthens the movie needlessly, you know. It's
Yeah.
not like watching Oklahoma.
It could have been a very tight 130.
Yeah. There's a lot of montages.
What's your least favorite moment of the movie?
Well, when I was seeing it, it was her pop music because it sounded like, because she wrote it all, and it sounded like her writing what people assume she would write. You know what I'm saying? Like the music that Ali plays that gets famous off of, it's like she would never get famous with that in real life. That music isn't that good. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like pop. So it's definitely a weird universe that they live in where that skyrockets someone's career. Like as a debut album, that music is what skyrockets her career because it wasn't that good. That was the only unbelievable part. But now, like after the movie's been out for so long and it's won so many awards and stuff, now I actually like those pop songs because they're so cheesy. Like, Look What You Made Me Do. Like that song is, or How Could You Do That to Me? That song, like
Yeah.
it's just so cheesy. I don't know.
When I tweeted out that I was doing this, like 5 people responded, "I'm falling," and I was like, I have no idea what that means.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then because I'm not a big fan of like slower songs, like ballads and stuff. Like personally, my favorite artist is Pink, so like when she does a ballad, I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. You're gonna swing from the chandelier by your hair in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Up with this, you need a break. But other artists, I'm just like, this doesn't blow my skirt up.
Right. By
Like
the way,
I found out the Pussycat Dolls have an entire collection of ballads. Wild.
yeah, I mean, the Pussycat Dolls is just Nicole. Like it's
Yeah.
not even a band. It's so weird because it's
Oh,
just her.
weird fact about them, because they just released a new song, and I love it. I love everything about it.
Like,
I looked them up. Turns out 3 of them are mothers. They all have six packs. The youngest one is 37.
really?
Yes.
That's funny. So does that club, because it started as a club in Vegas, right? Like what the Pussycat Dolls show, right?
Yeah. It started as a show. The show's not running anymore. They just got the band back together for no reason.
Oh, okay. So it's not like Chippendales, like they didn't have like a long running Vegas show still.
Nah. I think the show stopped when the band formed.
Oh,
And
okay.
started touring. The show stopped. It'll probably come back. But yeah,
Well,
the oldest one is 45.
it's crazy. I mean, they look great. I watched the video. They look amazing.
Oh God, they look so good. I was listening to the lyrics of React, and I was like, oof, this is for a much, much, much younger band. As a woman over 30, this sounds like you're like, oh, you when you treat me good, I want you to be bad. No, that's for a much younger woman. All right. I do want to pivot just a bit to the leftovers.
Yeah.
I almost didn't watch the series finale because I wanted to watch the series in order, but so the idea for this for first timers is I watched the pilot and then my guest favorite episode. So I watched the pilot and the series finale. Um, let's get
And
into
that's
it.
all you've ever seen of it, right?
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it before. So it's from 2014. It's an HBO series. I probably didn't hear of it because 2014 was the height of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So that's what they were pushing. And it was like, oh, you already have HBO. Here's the leftovers.
Yeah.
Um, it, oh God. So it's the show about like an apocalyptic event where just 2% of the world disappears, correct?
Just disappears without, like, there's not like a wave of electricity, there's not a storm, there's not a bomb, there's nothing. Just like in the snap of it's almost like Thanos. But even then, like, they didn't turn to dust. They literally just disappeared one day. 2% of the entire population.
Yeah. And then,
So it's an hour drama,
yeah.
and it deals with everyone just surviving after that happens. All the people that are left, and there's a bunch of like government programs that are started, like almost like the stimulus that is happening now, but like they open um, almost like an unemployment department, but they open a department for people that were departed. So like if your husband departed and he made all the money, you can file a claim and the government will pay you, and all this stuff. So yeah, and it's just fascinating, and it's where we as a society got Carrie Coon from, who is like currently one of my favorite actors. She's amazing. She
What is
plays.
she in right now?
So she just filmed the new Ghostbusters reboot. She does mainly movies, but she did the second or third season of Fargo,
Okay.
and she did the second season of The Sinner, and she's actually a completely CGI character in Avengers. She plays one of Thanos's henchmen, the lady henchman with like the Maleficent horns.
Okay.
She does her voice. And
Um, so I only saw Endgame because I had a hangover. I was in a college town somewhere, and I was like, I wanted to see something else, and they were like, oh, the next one's in 2 hours, and I was like, I really just need to sit down. So I
so
got
you
it.
saw Endgame, but you never saw part one
So I saw the first.
or whatever.
I saw the very first movie. What was that? Iron Man in 2008.
Wait, all Marvel movies?
Yeah, so I saw
Not
Iron
just
Man, I
Avengers?
saw Black Panther, and then I saw Endgame.
I mean, that's a good. Do you see them in that order?
Yeah,
I mean, that sets up. You pretty much meet a lot of people that way. Like,
yeah. I was Googling
of Endgame.
furiously,
So.
watching Endgame, going, I have no idea what's happening. Um,
Now,
oh,
have you gone back and watched any other ones since then?
not yet. I'm
Wow.
bad at seeing movies.
But like, you don't want to know what happens?
I, I mean, I hopped on Wikipedia, so like, I sort of know what happens.
Right.
For the longest time, I was like, is Gwyneth Paltrow just gonna let this child fuck her husband?
What?
So when Spider-Man appears, he looks at Tony Stark and he gives him this daddy look, and I misunderstood the situation entirely.
Oh, okay.
And I texted all my friends. I was like, that is aggressively cock hungry. I
It's
misread that entire situation.
yeah, it's more of a father-son relationship.
No, it's a daddy boy. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's start with the first episode of The Leftovers. And I I think I was hooked when I saw Amy Brenneman walk in, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I was like, "Oh, she's not gonna speak for this entire episode." I was like, "Did some
Yeah,
like what angry LA writer was like, hey, how can I shut women up?"
but she does such an amazing job. Because she doesn't speak the whole first season. She does an amazing job of acting with just
Mhm.
her face. And it's so good. She's just so good. Oh God. Um, she's just so amazing. I love her so much. And but yeah, so are you gonna go back and try to watch the show at all?
I've decided it's going to be my new series. I'm going to go through and watch it.
Oh, good. All right. Well, then I'm not gonna like spoil it for you.
I mean, I that is unfortunately part of this. I will try and guess what happens between the two episodes that I've seen.
Yeah, because that show is almost like a different show every season, but the same. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
So
so kind of like an
there's
anthology.
so much. Even watching the series finale, there's so much that's not even in the series finale, like characters and actors and stuff that happened that disappear and come and go in other parts of the series. So you're not. It's almost like you could watch each season in any order you wanted.
One of my notes is the Book of Nora is a movie all on its own.
Yeah, she's amazing, and like she. I'll be interested to hear your theory when you finish the series to see if you think her story is true or not.
Okay, so let's see. The first note I took, like I was just sort of watching, trying to figure out what was happening. The first like for the first like 20 minutes or so. The first note I have is choke masturbation scene, where she's crying while choking Max. I was just like, oh, is this that this is a choice? These kids are being crazy, and I was like, are these kids in college? Are they in high school? Like it doesn't read like high schoolers.
Yeah.
Her best friend or Jill's best friend Maggie, what was her name?
Uh, I think that's her name. I don't
Yeah,
know.
she talked to her dad like she was the neighbor who was trying to move in on him, not like she
Yeah.
was friends with the daughter. And I was like, okay, so she makes the move mid season one. Clearly, like that's what this is setting up. Things escalate. How many cults are on the show?
Who? Well, how many? What?
How many cults are on the show, or secular groups or whatever?
Oh,
We know.
cults. Just the one.
Okay, because when they were leaving the party, there's two women sitting, or there's two people sitting on a porch wearing all black, and I was like, "What is that?" And then, so his wife's in one cult, his son's in another one.
Well, yeah. There's the guilty remnant. Who's
Okay, and
who's
those are the
still?
ones who wear all white and chain smoke.
Yeah.
I named one woman not Margot Martindale.
Yeah.
I was like, not Margot Martindale is pretty awesome, isn't this? These extras are the most extras ever. Um, so Liv Tyler has just never seen the sun, right? Like she's just never seen it. She's not acquainted with it.
Yeah.
That skin, like it has not changed since she was Eowyn or Arwen, whichever one she was. Um, did someone write an entire show just to shut women up? Okay. Who's your favorite character in season one?
Nora. I
Nora?
mean, Nora's my favorite character through the whole show, but in season one specifically, she's amazing. But also, Regina King is in season two, and
Okay.
Regina King's my favorite in season two. Season two is, I mean, the whole show is just so good. So yeah, like Regina King is my favorite in season two, but Carrie Coon is my favorite for the whole show because she's just so good. She's just such a good actor. She's just amazing. Like you just buy it, you know?
Yeah, like she doesn't do a whole lot in the first episode. She's only got like the one scene.
Yeah.
I became mildly obsessed with the mayor character.
She's
Uh,
great. And like I think she's on a new show. I think she's on that show like Women Who Kill or something. But she's
oh,
such a
that
great actor
that
too.
ABC show, that CBS show with Lucy Liu.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think she's in that show. And she's such a great actor too, and her character is so good the first season of the show. But this show literally like turns on a dime for season 2, and so it's almost an entirely different cast. Um, but it's just so good. But yeah, she was a great actor too. I really loved her.
Okay. Who's your least favorite character of the series?
Um, I mean, of the entire series, I don't know. His daughter is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I like her as an actor, and she has some cool moments. But I don't know. There's not really any characters that I'm like, oh, I don't want to see this person again. There is in season 2, like Regina King's husband in season 2 is kind of annoying,
Yeah.
but for
Um,
the most part, everybody's really great.
Season one, I was so only having watched the pilot, it was like a little jarring to like make it to the series finale. Going, oh, those two characters made it. Because literally, the series finale, the Book of Nora, season 3, episode 8, because the series only had like 24 episodes.
Yeah,
Um, Watching that, it's two characters that are only in seconds of the first episode.
yeah.
Like,
Well, also, it's the whole show is based on a short story, not even a novel, a short story, or maybe it's a novella.
okay,
But I feel like novellas and short stories are the same thing. Um, but it's based on a short story, which the first season covers that whole book. So season 2 and season 3 are totally made up by the production of the show. So it's kind of cool how they extended that universe and it works. You know.
okay. I am thoroughly intrigued on what happens throughout the series. Watching the finale, I was like, I'm coming back for this. I'm going to put it in the queue. I'm going to watch it. Which is the
So,
first show on this. Which is the first show since I started doing this project that I have decided to watch again.
that's awesome. I mean, it's totally going to suck you in, and it's so short. It's only 3 seasons. There's only 24 episodes. It's so fast. Like you're
Yeah.
going to love it. And
Um,
the season finale of season 1, like they do really good finales. The
mm,
season finale, season 1 is like amazing. Um, yeah, and the season finale of season 2 is amazing. Like they do really good finales, but the seasons themselves are really great too.
I was it was hard to differentiate characters in the first episode because there were just a lot of pale white women who weren't speaking.
Yeah, they cram a lot of stuff in there.
And I was like, for a while, I thought the chief was dating Liv Tyler, and I thought Liv Tyler was the woman who lost her baby at the very beginning of the episode. And
Yeah,
I was like, "What's happening?"
yeah. They had to cram so much into the pilot because it was made as a pilot and then sold to HBO like that, you know. So they had to convince HBO to make it, and I thought they did a good job. And it, like I said, it works out in the end.
Yeah. Um, the the finale. So is the final season just wrapping up every character's storyline?
Um, Sort of, but they start. I mean, they wrap everything up, but they start a bunch of storylines in the 3rd season too. So
Okay, because so huge spoiler alerts if you're watching this. Um, so the finale starts with Nora. It's the Book of Nora. It starts with Nora and her brother Matt. Matt, right? Matt.
yeah,
And they're in Australia, which I was like, oh, they're in Ireland. They're not. They're in Australia, and there's some crazy scientist who has figured out uh, how to send people somewhere, or do I couldn't wrap my head around what the science was. I knew there was an angry Russian woman off to the side, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, oh, they're going to kill this woman on screen. That's about to happen. And then she wakes up in an entirely different time, and I was like, what? And one, because I did not know this character from Adam. The aging makeup that they did on her was fantastic.
so good.
And on oh god, what's his name? I want to say Kevin, the chief.
Yeah,
Is it Kevin? Yeah. They aged him very well. So glad they didn't like they shaved him. They aged him. Looked great. Uh, the nun character, amazing. Uh, and I was just trying to figure out. In my head the whole time, I was just trying to like connect the dots between A to B. And they wait until the last 7 minutes of the episode to bring up anything that I would have known.
Yeah. Well, because like in the universe of the show, there's like a scientist who says he figures out where everyone went and knows how to get there, and invents this process to do it. But it's also in the universe of the show considered like a scam, and no one believes it's real. Um, so yeah, so we kind of learn about that process a little bit, and then we hear what Nora says happens. But yeah, I'll be interested to see if you think that's real or not.
So, and I mean, honestly, the first episode was so good. I almost just stopped there, because I was gonna just keep watching the show, and I still will. But I didn't read the whole Wikipedia. I scrolled through to see who the directors were and who like the cast was and all that. But like I didn't read the whole Wikipedia like I do with most things. So I wanted to have
Oh,
some surprises. Like the Umbrella Academy was really good, but I read the Wikipedia halfway through episode one just so I could make it to the end.
oh, okay.
Um, and I can't wait for season two of that to come back.
Yeah, I've never watched it, but I heard it's good.
It is it's written by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
I know, I heard that. It's weird.
Yeah, and we're like, hey, get back to singing. We need you. Uh, there are sad 13-year-olds who don't know anything about themselves yet.
I
Uh,
think they're coming out with a new album.
yeah, they're back on tour soon. Okay, so here is my completely uninformed idea of what happened with the series.
Okay.
Let me let me get all situated in my nice Whiskey Bear Comedy Festival. I believe that's the one I met you at.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, uh, 3 seasons. What happened between the pilot and the Book of Nora? Well, Nora becomes a character. I know for a fact that at some point, the chief of police and Nora, who lost her entire family, met at a dance. I guess they
Mm-hmm.
went to high school together, but they were chaperoning a dance of some sort. I'm assuming while his daughter was still in school, even though she was a crazy person, um, who should have been like she assaulted a student and called another student a cunt to a teacher's face in the first 10 minutes that she's on screen. And then her best friend is trying to fuck her dad. So I assume in season one, her best friend makes a play, and he's like, "Hey, you're too young for me," but they do it off screen. And then she never speaks to her again. I think Jill, the daughter, dates the sort of sad guy that was giving her eyes that buried the doll with her. I think that's who she marries and has a kid with later. Um, I think the son, Tommy, leaves his cult when that cult leader he gets killed. He clearly dies. Yeah, he how aggressively he entered the scene. I was like, he's going to die. Yeah. I thought Tommy was going to die, but they bring him up in the series finale, so he lives. I thought it was going to be like a total Guyana thing where everyone in the camp just drinks the Kool-Aid and they're gone. Yeah, when Wayne walks in one, don't follow a cult leader named Wayne who's British. No British person is named Wayne. Um, and he goes, I had a dream, and it was my son calling out to me. I was like, okay, all of this is crazy. Not Margot Martindale, I believe her cult. They just wake up one day and they go, this is all bullshit, and they leave. Because they're like, we can't keep chain smoking, and we really miss talking. I think the mayor character has maybe 2 more scenes that are of importance throughout the season. I think she gets one more sassy black lady moment and one more like emotional moment, and they're both tear tearjerkers. Uh, Amy Brenneman apparently speaks and becomes a therapist at one point. She was holding a baby, and I was like, "Oh shit, she got knocked up. Good for her. She's over 50." Um, I totally missed Tyne Daly every time Amy was on screen. I was like, Tyne can play the silent one, but okay, whatever. Um, I think Liv Tyler dies. Probably she kills herself. Honestly, that's the character she was playing. She was on the verge of tears walking into that scene. That character doesn't make it too much longer. Um, I didn't meet a lot of other characters, so I don't know them all. I was surprised that um, that Matt, Nora's brother, was a character, B, made it to the series finale. Those are two things that shocked me. I was like, oh, he was just passing out pamphlets before, but okay.
Yeah.
I think there's like a governmental power struggle between the mayor and the chief of police. That feels like that's a thing. They keep butting heads. It feels like almost sexual, but not quite there yet. So power struggle, and she goes away without a storyline. What else? Um, I would love more of everything that happened in Australia. Like I would take an entire season of that.
That's season 3.
Oh, the whole season 3 is in Australia?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that close?
No. And I'm really excited for you to watch the show now because you're going to be very surprised.
Good. I really like that. I give it a strong 8.5 out of 10. It's one
Yeah,
of those
great.
shows that's like it's well written. I mean, it's a little more depressing than I normally watch. I tend to stick to comedies.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have watched more episodes of Daria than anything produced in 2020.
I mean, that's great though, because Daria is timeless.
Yeah, I today I spent 2 hours putting up a Daria playlist on Spotify with all the music from season 1.
It's funny story about that is that's why it took forever for that show to uh, I I don't know, stream. It took forever for that show to be put online because of the music rights, because that show had so many like top 40 pop, rock and alternative hits in it when it aired on MTV, but they only paid for it to like,
For the one.
Daria was on before pretty much DVDs existed, especially before streaming existed. So like they didn't have like contracts for music then. So it was all the music rights of the show they had to like figure out.
Yeah, it was the same thing that happened at Beavis and Butthead, right? Where
Yeah.
they were playing all this music, but they paid for the rights for the one time, and then it was like, oh, we can't do anything with this now.
And I think that's I think Ally McBeal too. And there's another show, but like I think that they said on Beavis and Butthead like they're not even gonna like try to fix it. Like they're just never gonna release Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, Beavis and Butthead do America is really all you need.
Right?
Right? Everything else is just like it's a joke. You're like, I get it.
I think Wonder Years was the same way. I think that's why Wonder Years never was like released on streaming platforms because it's all music they can't afford anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've made it through this. Thank you so much. Thanks for your recommendations.
I'm so glad we did it.
I can't wait to catch up on The Leftovers.
Yeah.
And since the series is over, I can just power through and like not even worry, just no worry, just make it to the end. What are you watching these days? What are you binging? What do you like?
Well, I just watched Tiger King. I mean, I watched it 2 weeks ago or whatever, but that was my last like full binge where I was just like, I think I watched it in 2 days, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But right now we're watching Nailed It, which is like one of our favorite shows. We love to watch it while we're eating dinner. So because it's never gross. We have this problem where we're like, okay, let's watch The Simpsons or let's watch an episode of this show, blah blah blah, and within like the first 5 minutes, someone's puking or something, and you're like, why did we watch this while we're eating? And
Yeah, so
so we usually end up watching like Food Network or HGTV or something, but then whenever Nailed It comes out, like that's our favorite dinner time show because it's always just cute and fun.
good. I love Nicole Byer.
She's
Uh,
so
she's on that bucket list of comics I want to work with.
she's super fun. We've done a couple shows together. She's really great. And then we're just watching a bunch of movies since fucking quarantine has released everything on streaming. Um, we're gonna watch Frozen 2 and Onward this weekend.
Ooh. Randomly, and I usually don't see Disney films. I have seen both of those.
Oh, great.
One of my best friends is a Disney queen, so I was hanging out with him and we did facials and watched Frozen 2. And because I'd never seen Frozen, I had a bunch of questions.
That's funny.
But
Have you gone
we
back and watched Frozen 1?
no. Uh, I think I think I figured out what happened.
Yeah, I mean, probably explains it.
Yeah, Frozen 2 it's good.
Another musical.
I know, but I made it through.
I think you like musicals now, Dwayne.
Um, mm, well, I like that they exist.
All right. But yeah, this was super fun. I'm so glad we did this.
Okay, tell everybody where they can find you.
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Todd Masterson. And then I also have another Instagram account called Gay Fat Friend, where you can find me making fun of muscle boys.
It's utterly fantastic. All right, thank you guys so much. This is the part where there should be a bumper or something, but that's the thing I did in post editing. Thanks,
Oh, great.
guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much. All right, hold on, I just have to stop this.